The best quality hybrid and traditional photo lighting and shooting videos are available for you at ShootSmarterUniversity.com. And they're less than $10 a piece, too.
Hey guys, it's Rob Knight. I saw a great video that Marlene Helema did a couple of weeks ago on the Discover Mirrorless channel about using a variable neutral density filter for shooting video. And you should definitely check out the video. She does a great job of showing how to use that filter and what it does with your video. It's a simple little tool, but it makes a big difference when you're trying to control exposure with video. I don't haul around a lot of optical filters anymore, but I do use a variable neutral density filter as well as a circular polarizer. And I've got several different lenses like most people do, and they have several different filter sizes. So I wanted to give you some tips for finding the right size filter for your lenses, and also a great tip that'll save you money, because basically you don't have to have a different one of these for every lens. I'm going to show you what a step-up ring is and how that can save you some bucks. Shopping for optical filters can be pretty confusing if you don't know what you're looking for. There's several different manufacturers, there are tons of different sizes, so how do you find out which size you need and what's the right filter for you? Well, the first thing you'll do is look to your lens, and in this case on the 12 to 35 f2.8 Lumix lens you can find the filter size right around the objective lens here. It's this one is 58 millimeters. Now, one of the things that I really appreciate that Panasonic did with these Lumix professional lenses, the 12 to 35 2.8 and the 70 to 100 2.8, is made them the same filter size. So I can use the same 58 millimeter filter on this lens and the 70 to 200 equivalent, which I use all the time. So that's really handy. But what about this Lumix Leica 45 millimeter f2.8 macro lens? The filter size is actually listed in this case on the outer barrel of the lens, and this is a 46 millimeter filter size. So you might look at this and think, okay, great, well now I need a 58 millimeter filter and I need a 46 millimeter filter. So that's just more to carry and more to buy. But what you can do is get what's called a step-up ring. And this guy has a smaller filter on the inside and then a larger filter on the outside. So you can use this ring to put in your 46 millimeter filter size and then use a 58 millimeter neutral density filter, circular polarizer, or whatever. The beauty of using step-up rings is that I can use filters like this 77 millimeter variable neutral density filter that I used to use on my full frame cameras and adapt them to my smaller micro four thirds kit. So I have my 58 millimeter to 77 millimeter filter here. So I just thread that into my Lumix lens. So now basically my 58 millimeter threaded lens becomes a 77 millimeter threaded lens, and I can use these larger filters. Another benefit of this, if I'm using a wide angle lens, I don't have to worry about this filter vignetting because it's so much bigger than the lens itself. So that actually can become a benefit. So rather than carry around the 77 millimeter filter, which is far bigger than any lens that I use in my micro four thirds kit, I bought a variable ND filter. This one is from Tiffin that fits on a 58 millimeter threaded lens. So I can use it without an adapter on my 12 to 35 2.8 lens and my 35 to 100 2.8 lens. And those are the lenses I use most often, so that's great. And then I've got a step-up ring that will adapt the 46 millimeter thread on the 45 millimeter macro and the 25 millimeter 1.8 lens. They both have the 46 millimeter thread. So I carry that one step-up ring, 46 millimeter to 58 millimeter, and I can use this same filter on basically 4 lenses that make up most of my kit. So my advice is this: instead of buying a filter for every lens in your bag, buy a filter that goes on your largest lens, and then buy step-up rings to adapt them to your smaller lenses. When you're shopping for a step-up ring, you just want to know the smaller filter size, in this case 37 millimeters, and how big you want it to go, in this case 55 millimeters. They're even printed right on the side, they're easy to find in your bag, these are great. You can carry 10 of these in the space of one filter, and you get 10 of these for about 20 bucks. So that's a great way to adapt one filter for all of your lenses and save you weight in your bag, which is half the reason you're shooting micro four thirds or mirrorless cameras to begin with, right? So I'll see you next time. Thanks.
The best quality hybrid and traditional photo lighting and shooting videos are available for you at ShootSmarterUniversity.com. And they're less than $10 a piece, too.